Welcome to Talk Legal, Special Edition, brought to you by the Young Lawyers section of the Chicago Bar Association, featuring Chastity Burns, Marty Gold, Kenny Matuszewski, and Jeff Moskowitz, the chair of the Young Lawyers section.
Welcome to a special edition of Talk Legal, a production of the Young Lawyers section and Racial Justice Coalition. In honor of Black History Month, our program will be highlighting African American bar associations in our area. Today, we will be featuring the president of the Cook County Bar Association, Nyshana Sumner. Today's hosts are the wonderful Chastity Burns and myself, Jeff Moskowitz.
Hey, Nyshana, so thank you so much for being here with us today.
Hey, Chastity, thank you, my pleasure.
And congratulations on what I know has already been a very successful presidency for you.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Cook County Bar Association's start and the mission?
Okay. Well, the Cook County Bar Association was actually started and officially incorporated, if you will, in 1920. It was formed in 1914. But the seeds of the Cook County Bar Association were planted in 1896, a long time ago, when 32 Black lawyers met to form protests against discrimination in hotels at the time for Black people, theaters and restaurants, and to address judicial elections and school desegregation in the Cook County, Chicagoland area. The group was, like I said, continued until that informal group was continued until 1914. And in 1914, the group decided to officially form the Cook County Bar Association. Edward H. Wright was our first elected president. And then on March 5th, 1920, it was officially incorporated in the state of Illinois. Our mission, we have a lot of objectives that encompass our mission. So to take an advisory and active interest in legal matters and questions of public policy, to inculcate and foster a spirit of fellowship among the members of our association, to improve access to justice for the people that we as attorneys serve, to promote increased diversity within the legal community and on the bench are a few of our objectives and part of our mission.
Being the oldest African American bar association in the United States is quite a legacy. What has leading an organization with such a rich history meant to you?
It's meant a lot. I think that it's an honor to be part of an organization that has such a rich history in the legal community because it has allowed me and forced me to know my history. I know a lot of times you hear people say, oh, know your history, especially Black people, because in so many instances, especially with our families, we don't have the same opportunity as others to know our actual history. But it's meant a lot. I'm actually not only a female president of the Cook County Bar Association, but I'm also a legacy, if you will, because my dad was president of this organization back in the 80s. So it's meant a lot. I have had a chance to kind of follow in his footsteps, if you will, and lead such a great organization. So I've been a part of the Cook County Bar Association before becoming a lawyer and as a kid in some shape, form, or fashion, just through him as well. So it's meant a lot.
Okay, I'm learning a lot. I'm pretty familiar with the Cook County Bar Association, but I did not know you were a legacy, and I didn't know exactly how long the organization had been around. That's amazing. What would you say are some of CCBA's most notable accomplishments in the time that it's been established?
You know, I think our most notable accomplishments are just the accomplishments of the members of the organization. The CCBA has historically been the support system in the home for many Black lawyers in Chicago and in Cook County, primarily because of the unfortunate not allowed to be members in other organizations. So they formed the organization to support its members and to speak out against injustices that were occurring at the time and still occur today for Black members. Those members were able to become aldermen. They became judges. They founded actually the National Bar Association, which is the African American National Bar Association in the country. And they were appointed to serve federal, local, and state governmental positions. So I think that our most notable accomplishments are those that our members have been able to accomplish with the support of the Cook County Bar Association. We've accomplished much and able to serve our communities and able to serve the legal community through our CCABF, our Cook County Bar Association Foundation, our legal clinic. We have a Lawyers in the Community Committee that has done a lot this year in light of the recent events that have occurred. Our members and our organization is a founding member of the Alliance of Bar Associations for Judicial Screening, through which we evaluate judicial candidates, not only for their legal ability, but I think more importantly for their sensitivity to diversity and bias. It's extremely important that as we are looking at candidates for judges as attorneys, that we are not only confident in their ability to be lawyers, but that we are confident in their ability to be sensitive to diverse people and able to serve diverse people and communities.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned that your father was the president and that you were around the organization as a child. I'm wondering if you could share with us possibly a cherished memory of being around there when you were a kid.
Oh, okay. So I remember, and I'm pretty sure somewhere I have a picture of, I believe it was an NBA convention, and I believe my dad was president that year at the Palmer House. The convention was in Chicago, and Mayor Harold Washington actually spoke at a banquet that was taking place. So I remember going to this banquet. I remember being in the room. I remember getting a picture of or seeing a picture of Harold Washington. And that was really exciting for me to see.
So obviously you have a rich history with the organization, both personally and professionally, but talking about the present, we know last year was obviously really crazy and a little bit of that craziness has spilled over into this year. What has it been like being president of CCBA during a pandemic?
It's been interesting. I mean, I think that just with all organizations and everything that we do as lawyers, just life period, we have been forced, because I can't say it's just me because it's all of us, we've been forced to adjust to doing things differently, to adjust to things, I'll say a new normal, if you will. I think that this year as president during a pandemic, we have been forced to think outside the box of what we do as far as our general membership meetings, what programs we present and how we present these programs and opportunities to our members. One of our staple programs, and I also call it an accomplishment, is our job fair. We have a minority student job fair every year that was scheduled for 2020 in July. And of course, it's normally in person. It's normally at a hotel downtown. But of course, we couldn't do that this year. And so it's forced us to think about how we do things differently. We actually did have our job fair for 2020, last week, actually, on the 8th of January. And we did a virtual platform. So it's kind of forced us to think about doing things differently and forced us to continue to move forward with our lives as attorneys, as change makers, as advocates for change, but just make sure we do it in a safe and meaningful way still.
I really liked how you said new normal there. I think some people are like trying to push against the what has happened and maybe not embrace it. So it's fantastic to hear that your organization is embracing it. And really exciting to hear that you did the job fair virtually. Do you think that there's any benefits to having it virtual? Did you notice increase in attendance or anything like that?
Well, actually, I think there are some benefits to doing it virtually. We had, if I'm, and I hate to misquote my job fair co-chairs, I know we had over 400 students that participated.
Wow.
I'm not sure if we have had that many recently in past job fairs, but I think that doing it virtually does enable people to participate more readily because they don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to travel. You can sit in your living room or your dining room or your kitchen or wherever and participate in interviews. So I think there are benefits to that. The access to it is easier, if you will. I think that one of the cons of the virtual world is that you don't get the same interaction. I would compare it to being in court and wanting to, if you're questioning a witness on the stand or you are prepping someone or you're talking to a client, there are certain things that can be communicated or that are communicated that you don't get if you're not face to face. So I think that there are benefits, and there were definitely benefits with doing the job fair virtually. I know that this year's job fair was successful. I'm not sure. We have to do our recap and find out, how things really went as far as, the offers, because we've had lots of members that have come back and said, hey, I'm a member of Cook County Bar Association. I started with the organization as a law student. I got my job because I attended the job fair. So I'm hoping that is what is going to continue for this year as well.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have done a great job of adapting to changing conditions and to all of the things that are going on. And obviously, the pandemic is not the only thing we've been dealing with as Bar Association leaders. So how has CCBA made efforts to address the calls for racial justice and police reform right now?
Well, we have actually made adjustments, and like with all organizations, again, just participated in a lot of panel discussions, provided panel discussions to community members for our members, some of the CLEs, on topics as they pertain to racial justice and police reform. We have a really great rapid response committee. And so as things happen, because they're consistently happening, we try to expeditiously issue statements in support of or against, depending on what's going on, these events as they occur.
What are your organization's biggest goals for the future?
No, I mean, our goals really haven't shifted. I mean, the pandemic has just changed the way in which we attempt to accomplish those goals. We still want to continue to be a pillar in the legal community and the non-legal community for the communities that we serve. We continue to provide our programming. We have our Lawyers in the Community committee that did an excellent job recently with some of the programming that they did with what's going on with the pandemic. And they went out and actually prepared bags of PPE and took them to voters on election day and provided bags of PPE to voters on election day. So, our goals have not changed, to continue to do what we're doing and improve on what we're doing for this year and the next.
So Nyshana, you are halfway through your bar year. What are you the most excited for going into this second half? And what are you most excited for about the future of the organization?
I'm most excited to see what the Cook County Bar Association is going to do after me. I think that the ultimate goal of any president or anyone in leadership is to leave things better than when they receive them. I think that this year, any bar association president or anyone in leadership has been extremely challenged because of the pandemic and everything that is going on to continue to move forward in a positive light and to improve their organization. So I'm most excited to see what the CCBA has in store in 2021, 2022. I will, of course, be there. Our president-elect for this year, Cannon Lambert, I have the utmost confidence in him and that the CCBA will be in good hands. But I'm most excited to see what happens moving forward. With this next half of the bar year, we've got some programming planned up for civil rights. Our Lawyers in the Community committee, as I mentioned, is in high gear and preparing to do a legal clinic. As most people know, there are applications that are going to be coming in for associate judgeships that are open. So our JEC committee is gearing up and ready to go. So there's going to be a lot going on for this next half. And I'm excited to see what happens, not only for this last half of 2020, 2021, but to see what's going to happen for 2021, 2022.
Well, it sounds like you have made a big mark on the organization and should definitely be proud of your accomplishments and your contributions. And congratulations on what's already been a really great bar year.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you coming and talking to us here today and telling our members and getting out more information about the CCBA. It was a real honor to have you here. And it sounds like you guys have done awesome work, really exciting stuff. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.